The game is getting ready to go underway. We're into the lobby. The draft has started. So let's hop right into it right now.
Yep.
As Team Secret facing off against Quest. And already, this is perfect. They banned the Monkey King, much like Jack needed to ban the monkey that bit his finger on his recent Twitter post. Go check it out.
Please keep a safe distance away from Jack if you see him.
Because we
COVID don't know what was in the monkey.
COVID-2
also,
Electric Boogaloo.
Don't be in his pubs. You probably want to stay a safe distance away from Jack if you're just generally playing Dota. That's pretty good advice. Other great advice. Team Secret, they picked Snapfire. That is a fantastic hero right now. And I'd say she was like a little underrated, but again, more nerfs went around in the E patch, so some heroes fall, others will rise up. One of those heroes, perhaps the Undying, one could consider as being slightly worse. I mean, still owns, but that helps out Snapfire a little bit. She already had a pretty good matchup overall, and then with the lane, it's a bit better.
And this is, I think, one of the heroes that definitely has risen up recently as well, has been the Shadow Demon. I was kind of taking a look at some of the Dota buff statistics coming into the second half of this day here, and Shadow Demon, one of the highest win rates, 71% right now over 7 picks. So he is still looking absolutely fabulous. The changes, of course, where stacks get you experience. This fits really, really nicely with this hero's kit, and you build a bunch of stacks over there on the Ancients, easy peasy.
Boom. Big fan. Started with Medusa. I'd say was like the main reason why the heroes are being picked. The one problem that it always has is you really want to play it as 4. Whereas I feel like the hero, everything about it fits really well as a 5, except the fact that you want to be 4 so you can do the ancient stacks. So you're kind of forced on and putting it there, in my opinion. And then that can be a little bit awkward. But one of the heroes that I think actually supplements that really well is Clockwork. Clockwork 5 with the Shadow Demon 4 of the same team makes up for a lot of those issues that, you're lacking some things from a 4 with Shadow Demon, but you get it out of your 5. But Team Secret are going to snag it away. Also a great matchup versus Primal Beast. You don't enjoy this as Primal Beast.
Totally. No, Clockwork is sick right now. Yet to lose a game at this tournament so far, and Snapfire being paired together with it. I think this was it the Beast Coast combo that they consistently ran with like Snapfire mid and then a support Clockwork, and then as soon as you get 6 on these two heroes, or even if you don't get 6 on Clockwork, if you just walk in and cog somebody and Snapfire has ulti for a quick rotation, almost every hero is going to die to that.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
A super strong combination.
And it was so good for them because at the time when it was Hector, he would often play these heroes with stuns, and then they would just easily rotate to his lane the second you would 6 on Snapfire. Probably the other best professional Snapfire mid, though, I'd say it's Noob on Quest. So if they do decide to make that flex here, the 10th pick is for Quest, and I would assume that Noob is going to have some insanely good counter pick for it. So I'm kind of assuming this will just be a support snap, but of course the option is going to be open. Could also be 3. That's pretty solid too.
I like that idea a lot. I've been seeing a lot of that Atos build recently. I think I was watching a couple of the pubs last night on my Twitch channel, shout out, where there was all of these core players playing in the Europe pubs beforehand, and almost every Snapfire that I saw was rushing Atos and just going into that big old right click build eventually. It's kind of devastating, and always has been a strong laner.
I did see there was also, speaking of some fun heroes, there was an offlane Wyvern this morning. Did you catch that at all?
Okay. No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was very high, but it was total ownage. I cannot remember who played it, because at first I thought it was FBZ, but it was not secret. So, well, you know what? I have chat. Someone in chat will just tell me, and that's great. Thanks, chat. Thanks for helping me out. But it was the game that I woke up when I was watching, but I was jumping around a little bit.
I'll look it up a little bit here, too. I can do a little bit of work for you. Don't worry. I'm on it.
It is appreciated. FPZ, though, he has played one fantastic hero in their last game, and that's Visage. He went 8-1-20 in their stomping game over Extreme. I mean, it wasn't really stomping. It took them 56 minutes. But it was decisive, Yeah. A good Visage game can often feel like that.
It looks like it was... Wait, was it a mid Wyvern?
No, it was offlane. I think.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it was mid. Am I wrong? I thought it was offlane because I was watching from the So, it was Liquid Entity. It was Gabby. Yeah, it was Gabby rocking the
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm sure someone in chat already said it. Oh, nice.
Nailed
They
it.
didn't beat me by the delay yet.
Love that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at Secret versus Twisted Minds, which I believe was from a qualifier that happened. Okay, pretty cool.
Long time on that ban, though. Finally get rid of the Bloodseeker. Coming into this tournament, there was a lot of discussions about what carries are going to be good now that Morphling is a little bit sadder. It has a pretty big impact. The number one that's still showing is Naga Siren. That is definitely the big hero that is sticking out to me right now. The fact that she has not been dealt with yet. But the Bloodseeker's gone, the Medusa's gone. So whenever you see Bloodseeker in the bans, you should always immediately think of two heroes, and that's Pangolier and Slark. And those two heroes are both currently in.
Okay. And still at the ready if they wanted to run them. They take the Mirana now for Quest. Kaori hero, if I am sort of remembering that correctly. It does feel like it's sort of their own little... Or was it Omar that plays that one? I think it tends to be Omar playing Shadow Demon. Regardless, a very strong combination to pair together with Shadow Demon we've seen a ton of times. And Team Secret, they're going to run immediately into the Slark. This is one of those other heroes that just is absolutely insane right now. And one of the few, like, sort of A-tier carries from Latch Patch that didn't get touched at all in the changelog for E.
Yeah, and they banned out the Bloodseeker again. So kind of letting them know. The other thing that's really interesting here is, you guys might have seen this lately, is that people are using Dispel versus Primal Beast with the Onslaught. So if you're charging towards someone with Onslaught and you get dispelled, so like let's say you're charging past the Ench or towards the Ench or you try and escape, if she dispels you, the charge just stops. It is a buff. And when you lose it, you're just stuck. Yeah, it's really funny.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so, of course, she could also have creeps that could do that too. Yeah, it's very funny.
I feel like that should not be the way it works. Like, the spell's name is Onslaught, and it's like, it just stops, is able to be dispelled. I feel like you shouldn't be able to stop it from happening.
That's also why Shadow Demon, like, dumpsters this hero too.
Right.
Same reasoning. Any constant dispel. Nullifiers too. He's not going anywhere.
Well, it is going to be, actually, I looked it up, the first Slark of this tournament, which surprises the heck out of me. I would have thought we would have been seeing more of him, but had not actually been picked yet. Faceless Void, we've been seeing a decent amount of it so far. A nice answer for the Slark, but they are lacking a little bit of damage to throw into that Chrono right now.
Yeah. The big one they went for with the Entity game that we were speaking of before, actually, it was a Gabby Wyvern, I believe, with the Faceless Void, and then they also had an Invoker. Who, usually comes to mind when you have this, but currently Team Secret are just going to cover that Legion Commander, some solid lockdown to try and help control the Slark, plus they can just throw the Primal Beast in the mid lane, or potentially even the Legion Commander in the mid lane. Statistically, in top-tier pubs right now, Legion Commander is actually the best hero. She is crushing it. In terms of like the most picked heroes, her win rate has gone up again today. She's currently at 55% win rate in 2,172 matches at that like 7K, 8K plus level. So that is considering she is the like top 7 picks, to be that high win rate is insane. Like, the only heroes above her are like more niche heroes that don't get as much pick time, except for Naga Siren and Darkseer. They get picked a lot, and they're both really good too.
Right. Well, we are in a different type of world now, and Team Secret, they're going to take the big Watermelon Man for themselves. Of course, after we saw the Enchantress pick, we kind of knew that it was going to be Snapfire played in that core position. Looks like it's going to be played there mid. Quest, they have a last pick overall, and they're going to decide to go for the Pangolier. So a nice answer, sort of, again, for the Slark, in that you can still hit him and stuff, throw a lot of damage in even during the ulti. But I will say, I feel like Quest might run into some damage issues if Malik's not just popping off and setting the tempo. If he gets shut down early, they could run into some issues.
Yeah, the chrono damage as well, kind of lacking with Pangolier, right? This is definitely a little bit of a problem for them with this draft, but this has to come back to the idea of the matchup in the mid lane. Noob is extremely experienced on the mid Snapfire, so he must know that, like, hey, this is going to go really well for me. Once I get my ulti going, I'm not going to have to worry too much about a lot of that combo. Like, I can't get locked down and killed by the Snapfire. If as long as I'm going to have my ulti later on, maybe I can even turn the fight around. You have cogs to play with too. Plus, you can always target Slark, even if he's going into his dark pack or anything like that, with your swashbuckle, with your rolls. So it's a very solid pick for everything except chrono damage in my eyes.
Right. Well, and I'll say that I even just in again a couple of matches that I was watching recently, I saw this exact matchup play out multiple times yesterday because people love Pango, people love Snapfire. And one of the thing I noticed is that Snapfire can come out like ahead, it feels like a little bit earlier, and sometimes even be a bit dominant in the laning stage if they play it right. But it tends to be in that mid-game moment. You don't really do much to Pango as Snapfire, right?
Yeah.
He's just sort of free to do what he wants. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, that changes later as you get into the crazy right-click build.
The triple Chrysalis, and you just kill Pango while he rolls, and everyone's really upset. Yeah, we see that a couple times as well.
Right. Well, let's see what ends up happening as we get into game number 1. Team Secret facing off against Quest, a European matchup, seeing who it is that's going to come out on top. Both of these teams have a lot to prove.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure. I mean, Quest already doing it. Very impressed with them. I think we were all kind of the same, just like, no Amar, no win, but 4-0, baby. Keep the train rolling. See if they can keep stomping all over Group B right now.
Heading out and seeing a quick smoke break right there. There was not a ward placed by Radiant. They might even be able to bait out some type of a sentry ward even. Let's see if they do. Yeah, I think they're going to drop one. Oh, no. Y'all got baited. No.
Oh, you'll love to see it.
Damn. Love that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Get in that.
That's scary.
And the pump fake.
Pump fake is looking a little crazy, if I'm going to be honest with you. CA2000 is going to try and go for a bit of a wraparound here with Kaori, and that is going to be another ward scouted and probably immediately dewarded. Man, not a great start so far for Quest in terms of the warding stuff.
No, they did not stick around for the deny, and Kaori won't make it back in time, so that's a big bonus for Amateurs. Down to the bottom room, though. That's 3v1. Coverage arrow. Got him.
Puppy. Just asserting dominance, saying, I don't care about your arrows.
He's like, I'm going to do it for the range creep, too. I'm going to catch these.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, they did end up getting that D-ward there. So a nice start overall for Secret as they managed to get 2 bounty runes apiece, and then also the 1 ward going their way. As we'll keep an eye on what happens here in the mid lane for Armel and Noob. Kind of the new, probably, premier matchup that we're Ember's changed a bit and other things like that. Kaori up top, getting some damage there onto him. Image was able to get a pretty good battery assault. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this and how much they're able to maybe run down the Shadow Demon and punish him early.
Yeah, kind of interesting, the lane setups we have going here, right? Puppy versus the Moran here, a bit of a classic one. Usually you think of it as being good for the Moran in the sense of just like killing the creeps, but you can see the Puppy's just immediately using that heal to get better trades going.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job of it. They do have a creep wave underneath their tower now, which is going to be a little bit annoying to contend with, but it looks like Chrysalis is actually doing a pretty fine job of just getting all the last hits gobbled up here in this lane against the Malakamar pressure.
A little help there from Puppy as well to get some of those last hits under the tower, so very nicely played. They will get a block on the small camp, so we'll see if Puppy noticed that bit of a move there from Omar to cover that. He does have 2 sentries, so if he's really dedicated, he might be able to get a nice arrow snipe as well, just to reduce this pull a little bit, and won't let the stack happen either, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Wait a minute. Oh, couldn't get it off in time. But still, something to watch for here is going to be how they play around with this Enchantress. Enchant, can she get some pretty good creeps to help her out? Does have 2 sentries, so ready to unblock that small camp almost immediately. On the other lanes, not really that much else to talk about yet. TA2000 trying to do what he can, but FBZ's already pulled the lane into a pretty good position, and with the image wrapping around, even though they're getting this pull with Kaori, it's some pretty good pressure on the TA2000. And Kaori, nice job there getting the pull through. Haven't seen that tech in a while, I feel like. People don't do pull throughs that often anymore.
No, we're usually stacking, or I mean, a lot of the times the camp's going to be blocked out or something, but seeing that Yamich was able to clear it, he's going to try and take advantage of that a little bit. It's typically not the best. Yeah, that hurt. Typically not the best setup to have Clockwork and Tide together if the enemy has any sort of mobility, because like you can't really punish anything with cogs. So he's just got himself like Flare and the battery assault right now. It's also hard to catch up with the Shadow Demon as well since you have this disruption. So I feel like Yamich is doing a really good job considering the matchup, because it just kind of feels hard to do much up here as Clockwork.
Right. Double melee has the Shadow Demon that can just disrupt him if he ever gets into a sort of dangerous situation. And now sitting 3.5 minutes in, still no first blood, but you can see across the board, Secret's kind of just outlaning them here. Every lane was kind of going better. Slark a little bit below the other two. See if that ends up sort of mattering as the game goes on later and later. But this is kind of what I was talking about. You come to expect a bit with this Pango Snap matchup. As Noob was able to get the bounty rune pick up, and now on the Yamich. Seeing if he can contest for this 4-minute rune. If he can steal this away, it might be kind of worth it. But no, Noob gets the water rune, and well, Yamich is just going to get ran down a bit. Does manage to get away at the end, though.
Yeah, has salve tangos as well, so doesn't amount to too much, but hey, at least he survives, and he doesn't feed first blood to the enemy mid, because even at 4 minutes, that's not going to be a great time. Crystal's going to bully Malik a little bit here, but should be okay. To still farm up some of these creeps here, and it'll just be the question of what happens when Armel's 6 versus what happens when Noob is 6. It should be much easier to make the rotation for a Snapfire compared to a Pangolier, so problem is, which core do you go on? They're actually all pretty survivable from a snap rotation.
This is what's interesting. This is like one of the really slower starts that I feel like we've seen. Almost always there's some type of a battle that happens around the bounty runes nowadays, or with those rotations towards mid, like, or even in lane. But I feel like Quest are kind of just getting bullied out here. Like they're not really able to do that much. And Snapfire is 30-13 right now, over 19-0 on the Pango. If they continue to sit like this, they're just going to fall further and further behind. They need to make something happen.
Yeah, he had to leave the lane, go all the way back home too, and there's all this right under the tower. Then he doesn't even get anything off the swashbuckle. In fact, he's going to get denied off of this too by the looks of it. So, yeah, this is a bad time right now for Noob. This counter pick. And the lane stage definitely not working out. Oh, he goes for it. Armel, he tried. He tried to be cool. I mean, it would have been nasty. But Noob knew. Though. He was ready for the cookie.
Knew exactly what was happening. Now, they kept Kaori down here bottom for a very long time, was trying to set up for a kill. They're going to move on to Chrysalis here. Do have that disruption, as well as the blood grenade. Dark Pact out, but that's going to be it. First blood taken. Malik able to pick up the kill, as Puppy barely surviving through all of that.
That was almost 2 stacks.
Yeah. Not enough there to take down Puppy.
Oh, but wait. Omar. Hold. Omar hunting.
Omar looking.
He's got leap at level 2 arrow.
Hits it. Oh, Omar, well played. Able to get in for the kill. Now, Chrysalis is going to be here, and with no more leap charges, looks for the deny. Not going to happen. And now they show up with more. Kaori is back here right on top of Chrysalis.
Oh, he got hit.
Stunned. Oh, my God. Dude, the timing of that. That was crazy.
This guy's just like, you've heard of Disruption Arrow, but what about Disruption Ogre Smash?
That's awesome. That was really sick. All right, 7-minute marks come up now. We got the Wisdom runes that are about to spawn. Kaori already making the move to try and steal it. This is one of the things that Secret could end up in some trouble on. Puppy, he's sending over his creep to deny the other Wisdom rune of Quest, which it looks like he's going to be able to do. But they won't be able to get one for themselves, it looks like. Omar, you get there in time.
Oh, man, that is pain.
They stole the other one, though.
Still, though, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's so low commitment to do that.
Yeah, for Puppy.
Yeah, considering the effort, the impact it has on the game. No, very well done. Good, very good use of enchanters in the early parts of the game, especially if you just can't kill the enemy off laner. But I mean, I guess typically you also could have just ran there. Zench would be the argument. Be like, well, I can just run there anyway. So Armel, ooh, nice hit.
Disruption arrow, easy pickup, and then does get forced to commit the roll to secure the kill, and won't be able to take down Yemich afterwards. So Noob makes a solid rotation, and Quest hitting a good timing here.
And Secret, of course, just looking at Chrysalis level 6. But, you know, got a Slark on your squad. That is the goal. Also going to have a respawning Snapfire with ulti ready to go here. So, see if they want to try and pair that up. Typically, I do love the combination of Snapfire and Tidehunter.
Right.
But typically, it's when you have the support plus the core, like support Snap, because you might get some earlier points in like the little Shredder for the Linus Armor, which is hype. But, whoa, he almost did it. Oh, we got him.
Able to connect the arrow there for the follow-up after the Dark Pact, and enough comes out to find the kill with Malik. So that's interesting, making use of the arrow and then Malik's your follow-up damage after Chrono. Pretty nice. Should be noted too that the Tidehunter, you know, you're talking about him and the combos he can make with Snapfire, did get his courier snipe that was bringing out his Meteor Hammer. So he's only just now getting that as Noob is diving onto Yemich, but won't be able to make anything happen there.
Yeah, that got killed a while ago. That was like 2 minutes ago or something too, right? Like just respawning, just coming up now. Hopefully he doesn't lose it again. He legitimately is about to lose it again.
Oh.
Like there is a ward up there too.
Kaori sees it. Yeah, it's in vision.
Is he gonna go for it?
Meanwhile, Puppy is starting to die, it looks like. Arrow goes out, not able to block it with the creep. Puppy goes down, so they get FBZ's crew. Dude, he managed to get the Meteor Hammer,
just delivered. It literally just got like a pixel. It got to him.
That would have been horrifically bad for Boom. Boom, what am I talking about? He's still tagged up as Boom out FBZ. Come on, buddy. You're on Secret now.
Take some time, you know. We gotta work through the servers. You know, we just got the game going, Lyrical, all right?
That's true. Fair enough.
We have all the server powers working on getting the matches going.
Well, 10-minute mark coming up now as Omar gets stunned mid-leap. And Armel will not get gifted a rune. Looks like Noob is going to be able to pick up the shield rune. Yemich gets caught. Arrow goes out. Omar connects. And Quest. The lanes went well for Secret, but Quest's mid-game is looking strong.
Yeah, part of it is that they're struggling to really utilize Armel. Like, he's trying to get this Atos so he can actually lock someone down and get valuable kills with his ulti. The only kills they've gotten so far were on the 2 supports, whereas when you have, like, Ravage and Snapfire, like, I'm imagining trying to get a high-value kill and trying to get that tower knocked down early, but it just took so long with the delayed Meteor Hammer that all of these timings for Quest were faster than they should have been.
Oh,
it did hit.
Yeah, Noob, I think, saw it at the last second, was able to get a swashbuckle off. FBZ just going to try and hold on to this tower here for a bit. Does have a lot of gold in the bank, but this catapult, it's still hitting. It's going to need to clear out that wave, and Quest not willing to go for the full commitment onto this Tidehunter here.
Yeah, I think without Snap ulti, they can't get a kill at the moment. Like, until Clockwork's actually 6 and can get into a valuable position, because they also have no damage coming from Puppy. He's gone for this 0-3-2 build, so even that early impetus that can really add up, not going to be there for them.
Right.
And that means it's not going to be there for a while either.
Yeah. No points in impetus is definitely crazy. It feels like it's Puppy going for a more farming-oriented build. As the disruption is there, Malik looking for the follow-up, and didn't actually get that off all the way right. So Armel gets out of trouble. And Kaori? Do they see him? Chrysalis dies in the meantime to just a Chronosphere down bottom. They pair it together perfectly while the dive was happening up top. So they end up getting the Shadow Demon, sure, but losing the Slark again.
It's again just the value of kills that each team is getting, right? They're committing so much, they're chasing down the Shadow Demon, and very quickly Malik's just like, oh, this isn't worth it, I'm done. And they're killing the Slark on the other side of the map, who is by far the poorest core. It's not looking good. Yeah, he's having a rough time.
Chrysalis has really not been able to get himself started. You know, you think about those 2 Chrono kills that happened on him. fairly rough, and then the other one that just was in the laning stage. Very, very tough for him to get what he needs to get done.
And when we talk about lacking chrono damage, a lot of times it's in the idea of like big team fights. Because again, all right, well, we got Atos as well as the Leap. We have killed the support once more.
Got him.
Got him down. We're building stacks. That's fine. But typically it's a discussion about like chrono. Like we're imagining some like 3-hero chrono and how do you actually like kill multiple targets and stuff like that. But in the early game, right now with this arrow combination, they're very happy using this just to bully one hero over and over again, especially when it's with the Slark. But here's the Kisses combo. This is what they've been waiting for.
Nicely played, and not able to get in range quickly enough from Kaori to make the disruption save. So they take down 2 and likely going to take the tower off of this as well. Team Secret fighting back against the pressure that Quest was throwing their direction, and I mean, they're doing a great job of it.
And that's actually a very dangerous fight for Team Secret. You're under a tier 1 tower versus a Pangolier who just got Diffusal Blade. So if you take that fight in that area, if the disruption save had have come out and he starts rolling and bouncing near that ramp, that could have been tough because the TPs could have come through. Even without a chrono, I feel like Secret could have been in for a world of pain. So nice connection there. Good investment from Armel to go for this Atos to try and get these somewhat guaranteed kills started for their team because that's the first time they've killed a core.
Yeah. And they need to keep it going. I mean, I will say that, you know, both of them are incredibly farmed. Southeast Asia rising up on Team Secret right here and looking good. FBZ incredibly farmed on this Tidehunter. Has the, on top of Meteor Hammer, Mechanism and Arcanes completely completed. And also, you know, Puppy's still getting fairly farmed himself. Has an entire Holy Locket done on this Enchantress. So even though he's not going for points and impetus, he can just be a frontliner in these fights. It's not going to do much, but...
I mean, it's 30% increase on the Nature's attendance, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to add up in the middle of these fights when it's maxed out at this point in the game. So I have to keep an eye on it. It's obviously a little bit more subtle. It helps a lot when the damage is a bit more sustained and like not this immediate burst damage, which is one of the problems that we kind of look to towards Quest. So it might be something that Puppy's seeing where he's like, as long as I get this off, you know, it's 12 seconds. There's a good chance that we can do something here with this.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what ends up happening over the next couple of minutes here and how Secret decide to play it. It definitely feels like Chrysalis just needs more time to sort of keep himself up. He is going to see that there's a ward over here, which Kaori is going to find and immediately go for the D-ward run. He popped ulti for that. Wait a minute. With Arrow coming in, they have to be careful here. Okay, they are going to cancel that Onslaught and then the back away, but Kaori caught by the Meteor Hammer, and Puppy's going to run right into him. They find that finish. So, you know, expensive, annoying play to make for the Shadow Demon as he ends up paying for it.
This guy just feeding. 4 deaths now. Always on the enemy side of the map.
Did get them a tower for what it's worth, though. Nice arrow, Omar. And then the jump in, Malik finds him. Omar sets up the perfect catch. Nicely played by the Mirana, just free-handed it.
Sometimes you just get these little bonus kills when you get Mirana on your team. You know, we've all seen those arrows sail off in the distance. Hold. Oh, he wants another one.
Again.
The diffusal setup.
Hunting, connecting, but that heal. That it's also a 20 stack of Holy Locket.
Damn, with the Seas of Serenity, the Verdurous Dale.
Damage there by Malik. Could go in with Hookshot, but not much left. Yeah, Puppy's not dying if he drops down Seas of Serenity. This dude is hard to kill.
Do you think this cosmetic just gives you more gold? This golden back thing on the Tidehunter? Because I'm not quite sure where it's all coming from, but this guy is just Meteor Hammer. He's Meteor Hammer in the mid-wave just blinking away. He's like, I don't even want the experience.
He's ready,
I'm out of here.
Just push wave, get to fight. Atos connection. Good chrono, but the follow-up is going to be there. It sets up for the Ravage. Takes down Noob. TA2000 gets away, but he did get clipped by that dust, and FBZ blinked where he was going to be. Misses the Meteor Hammer, though. And it looks like TA2000 is going to get out of harm's way for the moment, although with Chrysalis moving in, maybe he doesn't. Has to pop the stick charge, try and run away, still slowed, but the back line, they're going in. Malik is there. Omar already used arrow. They take down Kaori. A big ball of Team Secret sticking together. Malik could turn onto this.
They're just walking at each other.
Onslaught's back up again in a second. They do manage to find a lead pounce, but now Omar salves up, arrow out, misses onto Chrysalis. Can they take him down in time? It's not quite enough damage. Nobody has damage. Noob is back up again. He has roll, wants to chase, but he gets pushed back by Image. He finally has another round of roll. Malik's there, gonna find Puppy, but Puppy's living through all of it. He's got a ton of heal. Secret is not actually going down. Arrow, oh, we almost walked back into it. Atos jump forward, finds and finally connects on a kill. But these big hunks of meat are just walking at each other and nothing's happening. It's like an action movie from the 80s.
Yeah, start it over. Give me some spells, guys. Give me some damage, heroes.
That's something, and in the midst of all of that, the fight keeps going. Noob just goes down. So they were able to connect on and kill him.
There was like 8 seconds where everyone just walked at each other. That's it. Everyone just like hobbling around. Cogs was doing crazy amounts. Look how much Clockwork did. He did the most damage. Everyone just kept running into Cogs. Like the Cogs popping off. They don't even do damage, and it's still hitting them. Like 50, sure, why not?
Find another here. No, Puppy's fine.
Fights are going so long. We got multiple pulverizes happening, and like in the end, where did we even land up? I think win for Secret overall, especially with the chrono and everything. But that is coming back up soon for TA2000, and he does have a stack of ancients to work through at the moment.
I think one of the issues is that I think each team only has like probably. I think Secret only has 2 heroes that die, which is the Clockwork and the Snapfire. The rest of them are really hard to kill. And then for Quest, I feel like it's only Shadow Demon. Like everybody else has a way to kind of get out. Hook shot in. Is Noob gonna get caught? Oh, pops the ulti. Ravage for the follow-up. All right, well, if they drop everything on him, yeah, you can kill him then.
Where are you going?
All right, that's one way to do it. Did he have like a Dispel or something?
I don't know why he canceled the Rolling Thunder. Oh, it must have been Battery Assault. Yeah. Okay.
Nicely done. Well played there. But yeah, I'm 100% on board with confirming just for that. And FPZ, he really wants to confirm these kills because he's sick of wasting his Ravage. So he's considering immediately going for his Scythe next.
Okay. I like it. I mean, it's a bold move, Image. They find him. Arrow connects, and with the pulverize, that's going to be enough for the kill. So making use of this Moonlight Shadow as a way to set up on these targets is another pretty solid play. Armel managed to find one. Will be an easy setup for the cookie. Misses it, and that means Kaori gets away.
You had to say it.
All right, that's on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't blame Armel on that one. He's just trying to be pixel perfect, you know?
Blink reveal. Noob in mid lane. Tried to connect on it, but can't quite get there.
This game feels like a very chaotic pub right now. As 21 minutes hits and the wisdoms come out, looks like neither will be stolen at the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They are definitely... I mean, it's just... Yeah, like we've talked about a bunch. No damage and... You know, people just kind of run it at each other. Double BKB completed now, both for the Faceless Void and for the Primal Beast. So that part is pretty nice, and Pango is even going to be trying to get into a quick shard.
Yeah, that is a bit tough for how they want to play these fights on Team Secret. The BKBs are really going to be interrupting things, right? Like big upgrade, the Mjolnir, the Gleipnir coming here for Armel. So obviously ditching it in terms of that control, having the additional damage from the more kisses, not going to have to worry about that. So the timings of the BKB are going to be ever important, especially if the Depth Shroud comes out, because of course you can waste a lot of their BKB time with 3 seconds of haha.
Right. No, for sure. Well, and also, I mean, BKB keeps you alive even more so than you were before, but does it allow you to kill Secret? I'm not so sure if that's the case or not. Hook shot in. They find the one. Oh! Oh, the chrono, it only is on to 2, but is it going to be any damage for the follow-up? Arrow, they block it, Puppey! Oh, get down, Chrysalis, I will protect you! And he takes no damage because it's Enchantress. FBZ finally throws out that Ravage, but the control is there. Malik actually cancels it. The Clockwork getting into position there, maybe? I don't know what it was, but regardless, FBZ is going to drop. So 2 huge kills come out for Quest. Even though it was a good block of that arrow, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, the immediate focus on the Snapfire there in that fight too. Huge stuff because, yeah, we got BKB on Faceless Void as well as the Primal Beast, but if she comes out of that chrono and just like Gleipnir's all that chase down that was coming from the rest of the squad, would not have been a great way for Quest to continue that fight. Of course, right after that fight, happily next to the Roche pit, they immediately swoop on in here. This will be a quick grab as we will even lead early to go farm up that mid lane because not a lot of concern of Secret contesting this one. And they just hand this over to TA2000.
Okay. Nice pickup for him. I mean, he's going into that Mjolnir next, so pretty soon with that and, you know, the level 20 talent coming out eventually, he's going to be able to solve that damage issue. And I want to see what Secret's response to this is, because right now Chrysalis does not have what he needs to go toe-to-toe with this Faceless Void at all. Time will tell, though. Smoke up with 3. Hook shot ready, and Snapfire ultimate. TA2000 gets caught, still has that BKB at the ready. Jump for Armel, trying to bait it out of him. The big connection for the kill, and the hook shot is there. Now he does have that BKB. He's going to get pushed back here for a moment. Does not have Chronosphere, but Puppey right on top of him, trying to force out the BKB. He finally uses it, but TA2000 in trouble. Time dilation, the rest of the team moving over. Kaori tried to get close enough. Malik right on top of Armel, doing some good damage, but it's not enough in the end. TA2000 farming backwards to get away as Kaori drops lower. Puppey can't quite connect. The arrow is off the mark. They find that Shadow Demon and eventually take him down. So Team Secret actually pulled together a really good couple of minutes here, immediately burning that Aegis.
Yeah, and the best part with that is they didn't have to use Ravage, because of course, fighting, you know, probably trying to find that fight before the chrono is back up, right? Like, it's not there. They know that the number one thing the Quest want is a fight with chrono and Aegis. This is going to be really hard for them to deal with, and they also have their own giant ultimate in the Ravage, because, you know, buybacks and Aegis are the 2 big counters, these huge cooldowns. There's another grab here. Chrysalis, he's gone.
Oh my god.
He felt safe with his Death Shroud here, but he just gets found out. Primal Beast with the Pulverize.
And now they need to get the hell out. Oh, hook shot missing. How do you miss that? 4 heroes. Oh no. He was just intimidating them. That's all it was.
A warning shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Cross
come
the
back
port
and
bow.
get you. As he backs away. And Arrow, he's able to do a little juking and jiving, but Yamich in the end is going to go down there. He did his job. The hook shot was to secure nobody else died, and, you know, nobody else died. It's fine.
I can't believe these teams have played 2 best-of-2s already today. They look like they're just getting warmed up. This looks like a little bit of the clown shoes getting the jitters out. I don't know. Maybe they had like a caffeine break or something. Everyone's all amped up in this game.
Maybe.
It's looking a little wild in this match right here. 15-13. Finally, a lead starting to develop here, though. After the Aegis, it is starting to feel like it's growing more and more right now for Quest, despite losing it right away. And now they have a setup on FBZ, but, you know, Kraken Shell, like, what are we getting here?
Oh. On to him. The ulti there has the mech. FBZ pops it, but he does not have enough survivability right now.
Dude, that was tough. I gotta say. That had to be tempting, but the problem is the Chrysalis didn't have TP. Because Armel was right there with ulti, with Gleipnir follow-up. You got to be thinking, like, ooh, I kind of want to Ravage. Like, he's tagging for a while. But without Chrysalis, they know they can't win that fight.
Well, and the other really scary part about this, as we see Malik try and go on Armel, is that it's just such this weird dynamic, because FBZ has so much net worth, but 2,000 of it's sort of in this ultimate orb that's doing nothing for him, and then he's got another 1,700 in the bank trying to finish off this Hex. It's Puppey that went for this pipe, which is going to be great for them, but it's a little bit scary, and Quest's going to come and try and steal this Tormentor here. Looks like they should be able to do it, though they are getting fairly low, and yeah, it's going to be a Kaori shard. Great shard for them to pick up.
Yeah, it is very interesting looking at Puppy's build because he's essentially inversed the typical power timing parabolas of how Ench is being played right now. I feel like at this point in the game, for most lineups, this is where Ench is just like going insane because she's got like her Hurricane Pike finished and everyone's getting a little bit tankier, but the damage from Impetus just feels so ridiculous. Whereas because he has this pipe build, he will get there once he gets some more levels of Impetus, and obviously he farms pretty fast, but he doesn't have the damage yet. It's like catch FPZ again.
Oh man, I mean that's. His game is feeling really tough now. Yeah, that's a hard one to deal with. Armel comes on in and takes the Wisdom Rune for himself. He's like, guys, I need to get to 20. And I don't blame him.
Got the other one.
Arrow out onto Puppy. Not an easy kill. Is going to have that burst heal from the Holy Locket, but it's not enough. They take him down. Wow. Yeah, the wheels have fallen off for Team Secret. Quest is cooking.
Yeah, and it's Ag's time as well here from the Primal Beast. And in some games, the break doesn't feel that good. This is a good game.
Yeah.
Ench tied. Oh, yeah.
Woo! And another one. Armel going to get caught. No way to get away. One by one. Secret are just dying across the map. And this is what you kind of have to do, right? Split up the map. Try and, find the waves pushing out. Try and buy some space. But this is what Shadow Demon Mirana does so well.
And this is what Quests have been very good at over the past month or so. It's just this relentless pressure. They kind of have that, like, I don't know, almost like the old OG vibes of just like, we will fight you anywhere. Like, if we think that it's fight time, we're coming for the fights right now. Very happy to do a couple hero skirmishes as well. They don't always have to be up there as 5, but when the time calls for it and they want to push the objective, people are quick to get there in time, too. And they're having a hard time responding to that as Secret because obviously they're trying to punish them as they pick them apart with these little itty-bitty kills. But Secret, everyone's back up. All the spells are up. There's no Aegis. I think now's the time to formulate a plot here if you're Team Secret. Try and get a good angle from Yamich. How do they win this fight? Controlling Noob, I feel like, would be a great start. But that's tough, man. He's got roll-up and Yules.
Well, they do have Blink Tidehunter with Ravage. They need to be careful about this Chronosphere that's ready, but they are smoked up as 5. Chrysalis spots Malik there. Maybe he can go in and make something happen. They will have Pipe and the mech around this time. As the smoke goes from them, Moonlight Shadow also. Head forward. Yamich spots all of them. The dust is there. Jumps in hookshot. Not where he wanted it. The creep wave was right on top of him. Tidehunter is ready to the side, but it's not a good jump now that Pango's rolling. And it's just not going to work. They don't have what they need at this point.
He was so close to hooking T2000, but it hit on the creeps instead. Very disappointing there. Not necessarily best, but at least it could have started something for them. But at the very least, it leaves Quest heading away from their base. They're taking in the towers, and they immediately pop another smoke. 'Cause they've been on the back foot for a while. They got a couple stashed up here. Ideally, you want Chrysalis in first, and then some sort of a save to come through, I think, right? Either through his own Depth Shroud, his own ulti, or a hookshot play. I don't know if you want to... Oh, well, that's a great grab.
Yeah, getting this guy right at the start is good, and I don't think they're going to have enough people here quickly enough to try and turn this. TA2000 shows up. Chrysalis with the Shadow Dance, the jump forward, but the hook shot. Yamich, fine time for his team and getting away from them. TA2000, another jump to Chrono onto 3. He's caught him there to the side, in trouble. They have the Snapfire ultimate. Actually manages to stay alive and get the depth shot off Chrysalis. He lives through it all. Oh, the pipe, the mech, it was enough for the save. But can they take the fight after? They still have Ravage at the ready. Jump forward, Ravage. No! Noob got it off. He's able to get the roll up and the walk away. They need another jump. Do they have enough damage? Clockwork is there for the follow-up. If they run up this hill, it's scary. Malik is right on top of him, doing a ton of damage. The Ravage comes out, but the roll from Noob. Oh, it was almost perfect from Secret, but they are not going to get what they need out of this fight. They're going to lose Armel. Quest playing too good.
Oh, I love that chase down setup there. Very nice use of the Yules, right? Like this idea of the Yules being almost always defensive now, unless you're playing pretty specific heroes like your Leshrac or something, but just a very casual, like, hop in there from Noob, set up for a Yules because they just want a Chrono. This Slark and as many allies as they can. They get a 3-hero Chrono out of it. The fact that he lived there, I would have to go back and watch that. I think he might have got bounced into the cogs by the Primal Beast. Like, they couldn't hit him anymore. That was pretty crazy. And that almost turned into a disaster because of it. But in the end, it was a victory for Quest there as they try and find another one.
All right. I mean, this is something at the very least. Having to pop the ulti early for the Slark. TA2000, BKB back up soon. Quest, they're bringing numbers. They have mass numbers. The roll through connects onto 2. Meteor Hammer is out. Yemich able to get a little bit of separation, but is going to die in the end. Every one of these fights, it just don't have enough yet.
Yeah, failed the platformer minigame there, trying to get through the rolling ball, blocking the way to his home. Didn't get the timing quite right.
Yeah. Close, but I think the other thing about this is, like, Armel has to get to 20. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about the value of the BKBs for Quest, and they just answer everything that Secret does so well until Armel gets to 20.
Quest, they're getting the roach. It just respawned as they're coming into the pit, so everything timed up very nicely for them. And it's going to be another Aegis for them to deal with here. I'm not too concerned about Secret making their way through that portal. I mean, they're doing a little bit of pinging here. They might be thinking about doing a chase up there.
Right.
That's what they're going to try. See if there's anyone in the area. They're going to send Noob to the tower. Well, Chrysalis going to even ulti his way out of here.
Wow. Just making sure he's not going to get caught there. They're still kind of chasing.
Is under attack.
Armel with the Shadow Blade trying to get into the Silver Edge and is level 19 right now.
TA2000 smoke up as well. They're baiting out Malik.
God. Malik has a heart done. It's coming out right now. Full freaking heart.
Yeah, it's not much of a bait, is it? 5k HP.
God.
I'm so lonely. Oh, don't jump me.
Well, whatever would I do?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This guy's hitting your tier 3 tower. What do you do?
Puppy's like, I can heal through it. Don't worry. I mean, he is doing some nice little damage, has the enchanted quiver. The arrow is out. Puppy takes through a lot, but he doesn't take through that much. 2000!
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa! All right, second Aegis used without a ton gained from Quest, but
Crystal's
so
just
far
far
ahead right now.
He's just hitting neutrals right now. They are not trying to turn this into anything.
Apparently. Yeah, I mean, they have 20 on Snap, but they're buying back on other heroes. They're deciding to come back in, but FPC is already dead. A little bit of unsure of what's going on, and they actually managed to punch Chrysalis into the Chrono with Noob. Armel got a really good jump off, but the cheese was there. Enough for the save. He needs another round of Little Shredder. He's going to have it up back up again in a second, but do they have the lockdown that they need? Armel in trouble, needing to get away. Chrysalis hoping to escape, but there is no escape from all of Quest. A ton dead again. I thought they were going to die there, but that cheese was too good. Jump in, Malik right on top of him. Armel saving that Little Shredder. The jump forward, Chrysalis. Cogs push back. Malik getting shoveled all the way around this freaking map, but they just don't have the damage. This guy has 5,000 HP. You're not killing him. They're killing you. As a 31,000 gold lead is surely going to mean that Quest is going to be able to close this game out. Damn near diving fountain now as Armel doesn't have anywhere left to go. That is going to be it. GG called. Quest take game number 1.
How on earth do you kill this hero when he also has the Dandelion Amulet too?
Yeah.
Like, he is just stopping so many of their attempts trying to get these kills. Very nicely played. And I mean, you go across the whole board there from Quest in terms of, I think they had great itemization. We had like 4 staffs in terms of like Blink, some nice mobility added to those supports who were struggling a little bit to survive earlier. Got the Solar Crest build up as well. It's just everything was coming together, but more importantly, it was just the team fight synergy. They just looked incredibly clean in every single engagement there. Whereas Secret, we saw them missing a lot of their spells. They were a little bit harder to execute, so it's not necessarily like their own fault from their play and stuff. But like, I will say that I feel like Armel looked a little uncomfortable in the snap. I think he missed like 75 to 80% of the cookie stuns he tried to do, including like with his allies.
Yeah, there were a couple moments where it just, this fight right here in particular was so insane. where it felt like, already they were far behind, but they just needed to make a little bit more happen. They couldn't get that Ravage off at that point, which maybe could have killed Noob. They were already down like 16k or whatever, but yeah, it's kind of, I think, what we talked about a bit in the draft, that there were a couple of moments in here for Secret to maybe hit a little bit harder, but they just weren't able to get that like big timing push in before BKBs come out. And when Quest had BKBs, it was so hard for them to play.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can even go back to things like the Meteor Hammer being delayed. Like, that is why Tidehunter is really good right now. It does have a significant impact. But certainly the thing that probably had the most was Chrysalis. Then again, if Tidehunter has the earlier Meteor Hammer, maybe he's pushing that tower. Maybe he's relieving some of that pressure off of Chrysalis, because it was just free hunting season onto Chrysalis in that bottom lane. They really didn't give him a whole lot of space to get down there. I think the leaving in the Slark after the Bloodseeker ban was pretty smart, because I'm sure that Quest were considering, hey, they might go for this. Like, what are we going to do if they go for it? And they just immediately jump on the Faceless Void. They want that classic counterpick with the Chronosphere. And they used it to great effect, because typically those early Chronos tend to be pretty weak in Dota. But when you're using it on someone like a Slark who's already so frail, the whole thing is you just got to keep him in place. You can see why it's an excellent counterpick, even in the earlier parts of the game there. So very well done here from Quest.
Quest looking good, continuing the streak for themselves here in Group B. We'll see if they can keep that momentum up. What was that?
5 games.
Game. Makes you feel good, makes you feel confident, sort of similar to the way that Jack felt confident when he tried to push the water fountain and then the monkey bit his finger and then gave him COVID variant 2. But regardless of that, we're going to get ready for game number 2, which is how we bring it all back together again. Quest versus Secret in just a few minutes. We'll see you all on the other side of the break.
Open your eyes.
When you look into my eyes, tell me, what do you see?
Tonight, I'm gonna show you the wonders of them all.
Hey, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
I need warriors.
So is this what you want in? You wanna war? Show me what's up then. Now we ready to bust in. Take everything. Leave them with nothing.
There is a place where you can elevate what's hidden inside, where you can reframe yourself. Sonomi means the new you. The you can step into. Because when we know who we really are, we become unstoppable. Enter new dimensions of you. Sonomi.
Welcome back, you beautiful people out there. We're getting ready for game number 2. Quest Esports facing off against Team Secret and Trent. That last game, it was a lot of fun. There was like no early kills for a long time, but then when it happened, it was like this explosion of magical energy that went on, which is a great way to describe it. Malik, I don't know if you noticed this. I didn't notice it in the game. 11, 0, and 17 on Primal Beast. This boy was cooking. He heard me say, this guy's nothing special. He heard me say, Amar, you can't fill his shoes. And he was like, no, Lyrical, for you in particular, I'm going to tell you I'm a game winner. And that's what he did. Amazing.
That is what he did. Yeah, he really did. He kind of stomped there. Stomped around a lot and was not stopped from stomping very often. I didn't see a whole lot of issues in terms of the matchups. Sometimes you can think of like Primal Beast and Slark. Maybe there's an issue where if the Slark gets ahead, he starts bullying you a little bit in the lane. If you got a good support to work with you, but the solid start here was just a little bit too much for this Primal Beast. He just kept on rolling, and him and T2000 both going deathless in that first game because they didn't kill a core for the first like 9 minutes of that game or something. I think they just kept killing Omar and Kaori.
Yeah, Noob died a couple of times too. I think I want to see if this Snapfire Pango matchup keeps on working out this way. Because when I was watching it, it was Eurus versus Makoto previously. And now I've seen it with Armel versus Noob. And I think there are some like slight skill differences in terms of like there's sometimes that thing where like players can be better at laning versus better at like in the mid game. But I feel like I've consistently seen this pattern of like Snap kind of dominating early and then eventually losing the game. So I don't know if what that says exactly.
To me, it was definitely the more so the experience of Noob on the Pango, because I think when people play this Pangolier, the part where they really struggle to me is when they like immediately hit 6 and like trying to get stuff done can be very tough. But he was extremely successful because if you remember, we had 6 came faster by quite a bit for Armel, right? Like, and he tried to make that play with the cookie. He tried to cookie the range creep, I think it was, missed it. Then he immediately went to the ulti, assuming he was going to hit. And even after a swashbuckler, he's like, maybe I can still get the kill, but he missed too many of the kisses, didn't have an additional rotation or anything like that. And so that gave some freedom there to Noob. And he didn't just take that freedom to farm up. He ended up like getting a couple of kills. And basically from 7 to 10 minutes, he closed like a 1,500 gold gap between him and the Snapfire, which is pretty crazy. Because she was really far ahead, and then suddenly he was just caught back up to her, and it was like nothing had happened after 10 minutes. It was like they just gone even in the lane. So that to me was certainly the most impressive thing from Noob, because I think a lot of Pangos can struggle if they're not really familiar on the hero, and it feels like they almost rely way too much on either the blink to get the big ulti plays going, or that early defusal.
Well, and I think that sometimes we put a lot of stock into like, the medals that a player plays, infamously also an Amar thing to talk about. But one thing to notice is for Armel, silver tier on the Snapfire, so that hasn't necessarily had as much experience with that hero as some other people have. Still put on a pretty solid performance, and particularly in that early game, I mean, he just looked like a monster. But wasn't able to pull it out in the end. And of course, the one that like we've been talking a lot about Armel, it was also the counter pick of TA2000 against Chrysalis's Slark. Having that faceless void there, it felt like it just enabled them to just kill Chrysalis so many more times. He did almost nothing that game. It was rough. He did the least damage out of any hero in the game. 9,500 damage dealt by Chrysalis, and he couldn't play.
No, he was just getting chronoed and then running away if he managed to survive the chrono, which often he did not. Speaking of doing nothing, we are currently waiting.
Okay.
So take a little lean back here. It sounds like there's some server instability now on some of the other servers. They're having some issues here. Yeah, I'm just checking the lobby chat there.
Interesting.
So we're waiting to see before we start this exactly what's going to happen. So what's up, chat?
And relaxing.
We're not that delayed. Can we take a look at maybe why don't you and I just look at the standings, see how things are going? Spoilers.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, let's see. In terms of this current round going on right now, all right? Entity, they won game 1 over TSM.
Really?
Virtus Pro, they lost game 1 versus Liquids. Yeah, mix you up there.
Okay.
We had Aster defeating Execration, Extreme Gaming versus beating Beast Coast, and OG beat 9 Pandas. Whoa, OG.
Wow.
Got themselves a win.
Let's be real. Like, they looked pretty good in that Beast Coast series by and large. You know, that game, I remember I told you about this before the broadcast started. Seb is one of those players that, like, when he sees a way to hurt somebody,
yeah,
and he feels that sense of hurt from himself, he will try and do it. And that was the Darkseer play. He ran around on that Elder Titan against the Darkseer and just made the Darkseer feel horrifically bad. But that let Parker have this, like, crazy game on the gyrocopter because basically nobody was in his lane for forever. And so I think that, you know, there's maybe some, like, rust coming off the wheels a little bit there in that dynamic and trying to work out how everybody feels about things. But this is a team that I think on OG that can still go far. The problem is they need to get away with some wins here, because if it doesn't happen, it's gonna be over very soon. So we'll see. We'll see. But the big 9 Pandas win, though, that's important.
Yeah, I mean, 9 Pandas, they are currently 2-2, and then with one more loss, I'll put them at 2-3 right now. Right. So, yeah, you pick up a couple wins here as OG, and suddenly you're just right back in it. I mean, Extreme still only have their one win previously, which was versus Secret, because they got 2-0'd by 9 Pandas. Right. So if that keeps playing in that direction, things are going to get pretty tight on the old table here. And so am I correct that this... we do some of the play-ins tomorrow as well, but there's only there's only 6 series tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty quick turn and burn. The play-ins happen very rapidly,
and then I see. Okay, but we don't start the group stage tomorrow.
No,
gotcha.
No, the group stage does not start tomorrow. That happens. On the 21st is the beginning of that, where again you have 4 teams that are moving through into the group stage from here.
We got a little bit of a short day. No, you are correct. Yep.
Only 4. It's crazy that you only get 4. Oh wait, no, not only 4.
Well, 8,
but 8 total, right?
Yeah.
4 to each group. But it is crazy how quickly they start cutting down the number of teams. There's going to be a lot that get knocked out pretty soon here, but even if you don't make it through in those first 2, you still can make it in through the rest of the play-in stages. So stuff to keep in mind. Not bad. Any updates on the start of the game?
It says that the servers are having issues and no one can connect them at the moment. This was 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
And some of the lobbies are being rehosted, but for us, we are just chilling.
Well, and with that, I think then we're going to go to a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to have the lobby ready for all you fine folks out there. So go grab yourself a snack, but stay close, because as soon as the game starts, we will be here ready to start the draft and talk to you about it. See you guys in a few. And we are back just like that and already ready to go into the game. Apologies for the delays. There were a couple of server issues that were being sorted out. And very quickly, Quest and Team Secret ran right into the draft. That was all done in the duration of the time that it took for me to finish talking. So Trent, take a look at this one. We saw, I don't even remember from last game what the hell we ended up seeing. But Monkey King Ban, I do remember that one came out because, again, I reminded everybody about the way that Jack makes terrible decisions in his life. Rubik first phase overall, though. There you go.
Is that
most
a terrible
picked hero of
decision?
the tournament.
Is it a good decision or a terrible decision?
I like Rubik a lot. But then again, I make decisions off of what's fun, not what's good.
Fair point. Well, Puppy, similar situation here. He's picking his Chen, the classic. They played it once before earlier today. I believe that was to a W, if I recall correctly. But the last time I was looking at their numbers was so long ago before we had those server issues. And immediately, though, they go back for the Primal Beast. This time it'll be on the side of Team Secret instead of Quest. And Quest answer with a Mars Timber Saw. Where'd he go? Oh my god.
Oh no.
What are we going to do to Mars? Someone else's Timber Saw.
Okay. So a couple of change-ups also in terms of just the way that they prioritize bans here. I guess with first phase coming out of this for Quest, this time around, since last game it was Secret that had first phase pick, they opt on Secret to ban out the Undying Medusa, which wasn't even really touched last time around, if I'm not mistaken. Did mean also that Brood was left in. That one also left untouched. And yeah, the Rubik now into Chen Primal. And then Timber is the answer. I was thinking about this a little bit during the break. Quest feels like, you know, you try and like triangulate. Okay, this team beat that team, and that team beat this team, and this team is taking down that one. Quest might just be the best team in this group. Because they've taken out everybody pretty handedly, and it seems like everybody else is kind of taking games off of each other every now and then. Quest might just be the best.
I mean, it's looking that way. I mean, they had one 27-minute game versus OG. That was their fastest. Their longest game was 45 versus 9 Pandas. But I mean, they're kind of cruising a nice like 30-minute window, just like last game. You know, getting the lead, holding on to it, closing out for the game. And although they won their first 3 games with Darkseer, despite him still being available in this pool, they don't go for the Rubik Darkseer. They just like this answer a little bit better. This is also only the second time that they've had the first pick overall. They've mostly been playing with second pick and grabbing the Rubik +1 in that situation. So instead, answering the Chen and the Primal Beast with the Timber Saw. It was a pretty solid hero versus both of these. You got your Chen armies, you're pretty good versus. He does a lot of physical damage with all his little units too, which obviously you don't care about. And in the mid game, if you're snowballing as a Timber Saw and you see a Chen, like what can Chen do? You just jump on top of him, and Chen's just very sad.
Right. Well, it feels very much like Quest is a team that's building off of these counter picks, right? As opposed to having sort of one cohesive strategy of where they want to go to. It feels like they're trying to just shut down what the enemy team is doing and make them feel sad no matter what. Which, you know, can work really well. I think last game, when we think about that Faceless Void just chronoing Slark over and over and over again, it was an issue. And even though Quest take the first pick out of this, they still end up being able to play the counter pick game themselves because they take a hero that doesn't really get countered that much in the Rubik.
Oh my goodness. Whom's is this? The Puppy Crystal Maiden and the Puppy Chen? What do we do? Definitely a classic Puppy hero here, but very likely going to be handed over to Yamature. And then very quickly picked up, we have the Naga Siren and the Phoenix. Naga hero we talked quite a bit about in the first draft, just how she was absent from the bans. She's looking like probably the strongest carry in the game right now with the nerfs to Morphling. He's not here anymore. We don't have to worry about it. And they already won a game earlier today with a very similar draft versus OG, where they used a lot of great Phoenix egg plays to really control the fights with the song, just like you're kind of hoping to. And if you guys haven't seen the KRE Phoenix before, guy's pretty much a legend on it. He loves to get that early scythe and really catch people off guard.
Yeah, the most games by far for him is on that Phoenix, and it's consistently looked really, really good when he can get away with it. And oftentimes what ends up happening is that you'll have some carry player that they're running that will just, or some carry hero rather, that can run off to the jungle, and then Phoenix will just hold on to that safe lane tower for as long as possible. So I'm kind of curious, and I'd like to see Secret take a hero that can kick him out of that lane. Because we know that's what he's going to do. Something like that Beastmaster or whatever, and maybe run Primal into that mid roll. Or maybe they feel comfortable enough with Primal to be that option that can find the Phoenix back behind the tower, and they'll just push with Chen groups.
Yeah. What was my other question here? I had another question for you, but I don't remember. Oh, yes, you mentioned his numbers, how he had played so much Phoenix. In fact, guys, this will be his 70th match, but currently he has 69 pro games on Phoenix with a 69% win rate.
That's crazy.
That's double crazy. Nice. That's nice.
Damn.
This guy's that good.
So
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
This is going to be his best game of Phoenix ever, is what you're telling me.
The math checks out. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then classic counter pick, though. I mean, you were mentioning some offlaners try and punish the Phoenix. We got a safe laner who looks to punish the Phoenix. The Jug. Going to be spinning. Still able to attack that egg. Has some plays versus the Naga Siren as well. Also going to be able to handle the Timber Saw with the help of some healing. So it's a pretty... he's a balanced. He has been what he always has been. He is the Mario of this. He is the Ryu of Street Fighter. He's the Juggernaut of Dota 2. He just does a lot of things pretty well, but maybe not the best at anything in particular, except for maybe hitting level 20. He might be one of the best heroes at that.
Right, and also does have that natural answer of being able to lifesteal off of high armor heroes, because just completely ignores all of it. Which is pretty sick against the Timber Saw Naga Siren combinations. So I like it.
True.
Radiant team pick.
Tiny band out of the pool. What are they going to use to pull all of this together? Are we looking offlane? Are we looking mid?
Noob Tiny, that would have been so hype. Yeah, that is true though. The Noob Pango, or sorry, the Noob Timber, also just as viable. So.
10 seconds.
And I mean. GG might pick Queen here, I feel like. Yeah, go back for the Darkseer. Ooh, that's kind of nasty, actually.
I wouldn't hate it.
It's
pretty decent.
Yeah, you don't have like the best support necessarily in terms of like playing in the lane, but that's not the biggest thing of Darkseer anymore. Ever since Darkseer is like, I don't know, he can just last it. He just punches.
Right, he's a strong guy.
Yeah.
I always love throwing down the wall right on top of somebody Omni slashing. You have some extra survivability there. But I mean, we'll see if that ends up being what they go for, or if they want to just take a mid lane or something like, I guess Puck's already banned, but could do like Void Spirit or something too if they wanted.
Yeah, something somewhat safe,
Yeah.
I think the problem is that people have shown that Primal Beast is pretty competent in most of these laning matchups that you might think he would have a hard time with. Queen of Pain's really the only big one that I think is still... I mean, people can still outplay it. That's why I still think it's pretty decent here. But because like you also can't really counterpick her that hard out of that mid lane. But they'll just go with the Tusk. So that could be the mid Tusk. I have seen it popping up a little bit more in our pubs lately.
Yeah.
Unless Noob's busting out the mid Rubik. So we'll have to see.
No, I think Tusk makes sense here too in the context of their draft, right? A sort of snowball save to some extent against like the Omni Slash and even Freezing Field, and they go for it. Oh my god!
It's funny because I was thinking the Queen of Pain. I was like, it'd be funny if they went Queen of Pain and then they like went Meepo or something. Like that'd be pretty comical because Queen no longer no longer is countered by Meepo. That used to be one of those things where you would just net them, but now she's that crazy talent with the Shadow Strike, and now she wins the matchup statistically, which is pretty funny. But we have an RML Meepo. Well, during that long and extended break, we were actually talking about Meepo a little bit.
Yeah.
Wondering, we were just like, where is this hero? Because if you guys have been watching high tier pubs at all, you've probably, or maybe like your favorite streamers, you've probably heard them complaining about Meepo. This hero is everywhere right now with this Atos rush just taking over the map. A lot of the games and the map changes have looked really great for Meepo, but the hero just wasn't quite there yet. But It's all added up now over time. The dig on the shard, the Mega Meepo flinging people around. What kind of counters do we have to Meepo in this game?
I mean, there's high physical damage. It's sort of a weird dynamic, right? Because you kind of simultaneously want to have high physical damage, but then also like AoE control. Timbersaw is pretty sick, but then the other element of it is like, okay, well, there's also Mega Meepo now, so you can just jump inside all in one, and like I don't know. This hero seems insane to me. He pisses me off so much. And they also have Chen for Hand of God, so like I don't know. This could be rough. I think the Meepo pick is pretty good here. This will be interesting to watch and see how they do it. So you do already have a pause, but I think we can get into the game here in just a second now.
Yeah, I think the Timber's definitely the big one, right? A bit of a classic, lots of pure damage, big AoE, so it does help to chunk it all down. Kind of the same way why Sven was always seen as like a pretty decent one, because at least he also has the AoE control. I will say the Snowball seems pretty nice. By the Snowball, I mean the Tusk. Just like having a Tusk in general, right? If you get to that high impact physical damage, be it through like maybe some sort of a Deso build, or more likely like a Shadow Blade style Silver Edge thing going on, maybe that'll help enough for the individual pressure. But yeah, people have been wondering what is the answer to Meepo, and they're not quite sure yet, because he is winning a lot with the Atos build.
And I think that like in this type of a game too, you might see some of those like really ridiculous moments come around, because I think the biggest issue with Meepos, we are getting into this game now and we can actually get into it, is that it's like if you miss that window to kill, the dig, heal, and turnaround potential is so insane. And then on top of that, Secret also are going to have Chen with all of his healing. They're going to have a healing ward from Jug. Like onslaughts are going to be thrown out to try and sort of create some separation. This high tempo draft from Secret might be the answer for Quest. If Quest don't get off to a good start, particularly with Timbersaw, I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how the matchup goes with the Naga Siren too, because it feels like there's some nice stuff there for the Naga, because she's like controlling a lot of space. She's helping to cut waves and stuff. She's going to be scouting a lot of that enemy territory too, but the song, of course, just like setting off to this giant clump of Meepos. If you have the spells to punish, which they do, that looks rather troublesome, because obviously you're not going to be building into any sort of like immunity to help out. You know, a lot of heroes have to go for this BKB idea versus the Naga Siren to try and combat these song setups. Not really an option for a Meepo.
Look at these wards, by the way. You see that sentry ward that's blocking the small camp behind the Dire Tier 1 tower? We have to keep our eyes on this other stuff.
A way up there? Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Alec walks in, sees Puppy, ready to punch. The spin down, try to do what damage they can. Puppy in trouble. Is it going to be enough for the finish? Yes. Kaori draws first blood, and given this Phoenix first blood, it's a scary thing indeed. I mean, we'll see. I want to see what they do with it.
Scythe next. Like, all right. I affirm my first item. Now for number 2. Yeah, that's very helpful for Kaori's Phoenix. Obviously, probably the person who gets the most out of this hero in the competitive scene, so giving him that boost early. I'll be very happy about that.
Well, it'll be something to watch, of course, is how much he's able to get done against the Meepo, too. Tons of AoE damage, obviously. That's going to be able to whittle him down bit by bit. While he is forcing back Yamish. It was 3 bounty runes given over to Quest on top of that first blood. So this Mirana, pretty tough for her to stay toe-to-toe against him. As FBZ tries to go for the bully back, can't really do all that much. And in the mid lane, Armel already kind of putting a bit of a bully onto Noob here. He does have that shards first. With the ransack, he's just stealing some health away.
Dire's courier has been killed.
So, early pushment out there. They managed to find another courier kill. It was a nice play by Noob to be able to go for the snowball stun into a deny after.
Oh, man.
What's up?
Look at this Bob. Look how Kaori positions himself on Phoenix. Like, he's in behind them and then, like, playing back down towards his tower.
Oh no.
Jeez. Yeah, that is. Hence the
I'm glad
question
you drew
marks.
our attention to it.
Yeah, he is very confident on this hero, possibly to a fault. I don't know if he thought he was gonna get level 2, but yeah, it's a spicy place to be. Yamich is also holding his second point right now with 3 mangoes, and he does take the frostbite. So immediately, Kaori, this is what he does on Phoenix. He immediately just gets back in their face with these boots. Unfortunately, his attempt to secure the range creep was a failure here. It's in the mid lane. Ooh, that snowball again. Very nice.
Doesn't allow him to get both of the last hits there. So doing a good job of trying to slow it down where they can. He talked about Naga a bit. Naga already a decent chunk of denies, while Puppy trading hits with Omar. Getting lower and lower, was not ready for those penances. He tried to draw aggro onto the Rubik, but wasn't quite able to do it in time, and is immediately going to go for that eye out as Malik forced to Timber Chain away from Chrysalis. We're back to parity.
There. Yeah, the cutting of the trees paying off. Of course, I'm going to walk quite a distance there in that spin.
So the only people that are really struggling, it feels like so far, is FBZ on this Primal. Naga's having a really good time so far after the, even in spite of the death by Kaori.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, how he views this hero, is that he is expendable. I mean, obviously he was hoping to play for the dive and get out of there, but he didn't get level 2 in time. But he just wants to stay in their face and give that space to TA2000. Doesn't really care if he feeds, because you pointed out during the draft that this idea of just like taking over the lane after, trying to get that farm, trying to get those levels on the Phoenix that you so desperately need. Ooh, Armel.
Dead. Tries to do what they can. Snowball onto him and gets the kill. Noob. Going for a little bit of outplay with the help of Omar there. Much needed, because that was the level 3 timing, or level 4, excuse me, for the Meepo Divide We Stand.
As well as the fact that the 4-minute runes are coming up here too. He's got this empty bottle. He probably won't get both by the looks of it here. So he'll just have to count on one of them. Oh, wait, I say that. Oh.
Kaori dropping lower and lower too. Noob does manage to get that water rune away, and then the chase down. Snowball gets over to the side, trying to bottle up to survive through it, can drop down shards after. As Armel tries to chase, does he have enough to find the kill? No net as of yet, and gets away with that one.
That was a tight angle. I thought he was gonna go for the push up to the cliff and like deny himself, but nicely done. Manages to live. Not a whole lot to show for 2 water runes, but then they high five and they hug it out mid.
I mean, I think Armel is fairly happy with that, right? Like, you still get so much out of that trade. He's still surviving in the lane, and Tusk doesn't have a good time. Yemich down bottom is going to get body blocked a bit by Kaori. Does get caught by the root, but the follow-up root from TA2000, and then into the blender. Yemich goes down.
Man, he has his Tranquil boots done in what, 9 gold. I'll have that all finished up for Kaori right now at 5 minutes. Plus he's level 3.5. TA2000 already has double Wraith Band done and almost into the tread. So that Naga Siren taking over the camp's going to be coming soon. Kaori starts getting juiced up by the bottom lane. And then really it's going to be looking towards a kill threat from Timber at 6 would be your next question. It is into a Juggernaut who can be a little bit tough, but Puppy, of course, will be ripe for the targeting.
Yeah, if they can get onto him. He is starting to build up, and what we've seen this Puppy Chen do many times, just farm with the creeps that he can. As Kaori makes the move over towards mid, tries to find Armel, see if they can get him done, and Armel ends up going down for a second time. I mean, Quest are handling this beautifully. I am not seeing the pressure that Secret want early.
No, and they were getting nice chain stuns there too to ensure you couldn't get the poof away. Meanwhile, Puppy, he wants to be greedy right now. He has CM aura as well as the Seda aura. He has 4.8 mana regen right now with the Sage's Mask. He has a crazy amount of mana regen for 6 minutes. So Puppy just wants to be chilling. He's trying to farm things up right now. He doesn't want people pressuring his towers. He just wants to help his core players. You know, he's trying to do Puppy stuff.
Right. No, absolutely. And I mean, this is an issue. The fact that, well, I mean, this is a big punish. If they can get this kill into TA2000, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. No more Onslaught means TA2000 is fine. Wow. Yeah, a great start for Quest across the board.
Where's Kaori? Where is he?
Oh, no. Can he get there in time?
Oh, he's there.
I mean,
Oh,
Damage
sorry,
is
you
going to
mean
be here
Damage.
too.
Yeah. Do they know? Let's see. I mean, he's been gone for a while. Oh, he's just going to show. Okay.
Yeah. Can they get in range? Trying to move in with help. The TP in. It's going to be a second too late. Kaori gets the Wisdom Rune. Dive away. Tries to escape. They run through and end up together outside of the map. But you take that one. Quest get both of the bounty runes.
Most heroes, you're not getting that kill. So
Yeah.
nicely played there. Good thing it was the Primal Beast who showed up there with FBZ coming and actually punished that Phoenix. Did not go for the TP, so at least it didn't get canceled. You can immediately get right back out here on the map. Unfortunately, all that time, again, he still got the Wisdom Room. He won the click battle. And then the Naga Siren is getting a free spot to farm. So double Wisdom to Quest, and the farm continuing to grow all 3 cores ahead of all 3 cores from Team Secret.
And will that be able to change anytime soon? Fish Punch, Yamich dead. Noob starting to pop off a bit here on this Tusk. And Timbersaw, you talked about the level 6. He's trying to do what he can to pressure this tower a bit, but Chrysalis with the healing ward down makes it a little bit harder. But Noob in towards mid rotates in for him, but he's going to get a bottle refill with an Invis. So they can't put things together to try and punish these cores. And FBZ, at least for the moment, isn't even able to force back Kaori out of this lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm really curious to see if Noob does like the Falcon Blade Deso build or if he does the Blink build. Looking at their team, I feel like the Blink looks solid. I just want to like start fights for this Tusk right now. And seeing as how he hasn't picked up an item yet and he hasn't like started to utilize what the main benefit of like Falcon Blade is and getting things going early, that looks to be his plan. Checks the HP of that, Meepo. Says 1,000 is too much. Let's try and find a different target. How about Chrysalis?
Radiant are scanning.
Jeez, Puppy goes down. They connect onto him and kill him, and Noob looking, just following the creep.
Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Yes, follow the creep.
He's gonna head on up, and
Spidey
will he be
sense.
able to bind him?
Yeah, he's so
Chrysalis.
tanky now, though.
Already used spin. Takes the healing ward out. Now looks for more with team coming into position. It's gonna Omni Slash, needs to get to the creep wave. Pulls him over. Oh no! A little bit of a misplay, but then the Timber Chain forward finding him. Chrysalis. Now it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done.
Bottom tower
Saved.
is under attack.
What a save.
Wow.
I
In
like
the
how-
meantime, they did manage to kick out the Phoenix, but oof.
And there you go, though. That was noted as something important to try and do this game. So they are checking out some of the boxes here from Team Secret. But yeah, losing your carry, trying to farm the other side of the map, not great. Of course, the true carry, Armel, he is closing in on the legendary Atos item. He's about 500 gold away now. What are they going to do when this Atos gets purchased here from Meepo? Well, we'll find out after FBZ gets focused down here. Charges into them. Chrysalis is here, too. The whole squad has rolled up.
Trying to do what they can, and no level 6 Noob is going to go down. So good recognition by Secret. They can bring overwhelming numbers, try to punish this. And
Swarm.
Omar, oh, the net, the root, it doesn't stop him from going through. So they managed to escape.
Wow, nerf Twin Gates. Meepo needs help, guys.
Clearly.
All right, that is big though, because they were just close to losing another core hero here, and
Although it is costly and it takes a lot, at least they knock down a tower, they gain some space on the map, get a little bit of momentum rolling here, and the big momentum is coming now. That Atos is purchased, it's on the way. So who dies to Atos? Kaori probably dies to Atos, right? He's probably dead. Rubik probably dead. Tusk probably not. Naga Siren probably not.
Dire's middle
But
tower
we'll see how they get things going here. What's their big damage to go here too? Probably just like Primal rolling with the Meepo, I think might be necessary.
Yeah. FBZ needs to stay involved in these fights, it feels like, and playing together with those supports, but will they actually be able to find those sort of moments? I'm not so sure, because the other thing is if you don't get those kills immediately, the rotations are insane from Quest. And speaking of which, they're going to try and go onto Noob right now. He has Snowball already. The creep one looking to walk away, rooted for a second. Kaori moving into position with Omar nearby. Noob, he survives through it all. The heal comes out. It's not enough. Yamich is going to pay for that one, though, as they bring in numbers and, well, you pay with the life of 2 for 1.
Well, the multiple frostbites there are doing some work, but yeah, not quite enough. And of course, probably just forced to run away here with nothing but a ghost lady left as Malik will grab a Lotus up top here. A Lotus and also almost a Lotus. Actually, his Lotus is done. He just has Arcane Boots to disassemble here. So,
Okay.
and talking about this Atos being away from him to try and lock down some kills, now he's going to be able to dispel that and keep himself moving. As well as a DD now picked up for a noob who is he's just bought raw Deso. It looks like is going to be the plan here.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Wait.
I mean, unless he just does finish the BKB first, maybe he will.
Oh, yeah. I think he might actually. I mean, we'll see what he ends up going for. He at least has the Blightstone, so massive amounts of damage at this early time. But yeah, we'll see what he ends up going for there.
The BKB
Obviously,
is probably a lot smarter, to be honest.
They're rotating down bottom now to try and connect onto Kaori. Now, does have the egg, and Icarus dive. Do they have enough damage to take down this Phoenix? Does not look like it. So he gets away again, and that is what's so annoying about this hero when Kaori plays it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, you're kind of hoping for free picks based off of this, but looks like those will have to wait here.
Dire's middle tower has
And next
fallen.
on the list will be the classic, the Aghanim Scepter. Pretty much everyone doing the same build on Meepo right now. Just get these two items up and feel like an unstoppable killing force across the map. Speaking of build up and builds and whatnot, Juggernaut, level 20. That is the thing that we tend to associate with being a good Juggernaut game right now.
Yeah.
Not looking so hot.
No.
Moment.
Chrysalis, I mean, all of the cores right now for Secret just haven't really gotten what they needed here. And, you know, they're pretty far behind. We haven't even really seen Naga show up to these fights almost at all. TA2000 kind of just having an AFK-free game.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
it's
attack.
concerning. I mean, this Battle Fury will come out, and that'll definitely help for Chrysalis accelerate his farm and all the rest of it, but it feels like they're going to need to deal with this impending, which is going to be the power of West. FBZ goes on to Malik, finds him there, the Timber Chain to get away, and other teammates are coming to try and help out. Can't quite get the grab there with the Pulverize.
Ooh, I'm seeing a potential adaptation in the Meepo build, by the way. I'm taking a look at some of the pubs that were played this morning. We have a couple Meepo players here, some of which are competing in this tournament. Started going after their eggs. A lot of people were going Blink and then immediately into Scythe. That was kind of the build for
Right.
several days. Sometimes Scotty, when it's a good Scotty game. A lot of people that picked up a Swift Blink this morning. Nine played a game. He did it. Dream played one. Shiro
Okay.
played one. Lots of
I like
early Swift Blinks this morning.
I mean, this is probably going to be one of those games where people look at it and have seen some answers. Because I will say, I think Noob has perfectly answered this Meepo in the laning stage. The couple of rotations that they had, it feels like they had this pre-planned in a certain way for if Meepo were to come out. They were ready for it.
And Meepo
Wow.
might not be the most popular hero over the years. This is probably fine. Oh, here we go. All right, Lotus, though.
Got him. Rooted. Some trouble. Where's the help? Stolen freezing field, but it is going to be a dead timber saw. That is a good start to this. They're able to break the freezing field and take down Omar. So Secret trying to build back this momentum before the game gets out of hand.
Yeah, again, it's a great punish. Catching a couple heroes. Typically, they've been losing out on these. Okay, Ori, though, gets an Observer War, but he's going to die for it. So that's 3 down. Things
Wow.
coming together right now for Team Secret. Can they get something with these dead heroes, though? Can they secure an Aegis? They want to move that way. Can they get the mid tower? That would also be excellent.
Ooh.
Could they grab another kill?
Nope.
They got to find something.
TA2000. I mean, they're trying to take this fight now with only 2 heroes. And they do manage to at least get out with the Song of the Siren. So Song down now. Are Secret going to be able to push? Like you said, I feel like there's a window. They have to get something done here.
Yeah, they really do. And, well, what better way to do it than the Mega Meepo?
Is that ready?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, his timings. He's picking up the pace right now.
Spot 1. Thought about it. Frostbite stolen by Omar. Level 4. That's pretty good. Mega Meepo went up. Now the chase. Trying to turn. Noob maybe in some trouble. gets rooted. The turnaround. Oh, that egg, the sun ray. They're all burning to death. My God, Coyote did so much damage. And Armel, they get the root. They break him down. Oh, what a hit. What a perfect fight for Quest.
Oh, let me tell you, I got 3 kids. There's nothing worse when you don't pack the sunscreen. Oh, baby. It's not good. It's a bad day at the beach when Dad forgets the sunscreen.
Look at that damage, dude.
I didn't get it. What was the number?
So much. It was...
Oh.
It was almost as much as Secret. Jesus.
So much damage. He outdamaged the Meepo. And that's only one bird.
God. Yeah, that was gnarly. A lot of tips afterwards onto Noob. Maybe just, the call from the team of maybe he made the call to go fight there or what have you. But whatever the case is, he's got his BKB now. That was exactly what Quest needed.
You know what that all was because of that play they made at the bottom rune with the song and with Noob and just fighting there.
Yeah.
It delayed that push to the mid because they had so many heroes dead and down and the timers were still going, but then they fight for just 11, 12 seconds at that rune. It stops your opportunity to really seize and siege that mid tower. So they don't get any map control. It's versus a Naga Siren, so you're going to lose it fast. Sure, you have Meepo, but it's still not as quick as this Naga Siren. The way she slithers around the map. They're so fast.
It's true. She's super hard to sort of catch up and find any opportunity. It always feels like they need that one extra item. They're going to go for the dig now on Armel, trying to get into this shard as quickly as possible. As a root, a connection, finding Puppy and blowing him up again. Malik with the connection. Now the Atos tries to chase, but he's rooted mid-onslaught.
Frostbite.
Oh, Armel, and now they completely blow him up for a moment. Kind of crazy. My computer also exploded, but thankfully I have the PGM feed to get back into this one. Oh my God. Secret just not able to find any good fight for themselves.
It feels like it's so much effort for every kill they get.
Yeah.
Even on the supports, and while the effort, the EVs are high on this Naga Siren. She's kind of like a Pokemon. I don't know. She's got a heart now. She is chunky.
Yeah.
Get away there.
Timbersaw
feeling pretty bold, huh? No teammates around. Knows the entire enemy team's up here. Still here. Generally not a good sign for your game plan.
I mean, hey, look at Malik trying to prove Amar's not the only dude that can play Timber. Don't sleep on him like I was.
That's right.
I was not a believer. He is absolutely showing up here. Really
after
impressive
game
stuff.
1, if you guys forgot, I know it was a long time ago when we played that first one. He did stomp on the Primal Beast. FPC trying to do his best impression here of Malik and see if he can get himself a win for Team Secret this one. Or will Quest go 6-0 today? That's the question.
I mean, it would be crazy. Malik still sticking around in the vicinity of so many heroes. Timber getting away. The net connects. Does not have a Lotus now. Oh, freezing field. Everything dropped onto him. But TA2000 comes in with the song. Don't worry, bro. I got you. We're getting out of harm's way. TA2000 does barely make it through, and he gets away on the TP. What? Oh, my God. There was some miscommunication. That could have gone really bad, but they both get out.
Oh, Armel's trying to make a play here down bottom. The Force Staff, though. Nice counter to the Atos. Hits the net, though.
And we'll have that stun for a moment. Stolen Onslaught. Can't get away. The Pulverize comes out and the heal. I mean, this is still a lot of damage coming in from the Phoenix. The dive to run away. That keeps him alive, but if they go in much further, he still has Supernova at the ready, flinging heroes forward, trying to connect, but the egg is there, and then the turnaround. Chrysalis just wants to get this egg dead, and will get it, but it's going to come at a hell of a price. Can they catch up in time, though? TA2000 trying to find him.
He tipped him. Dude,
the
you can't tip him, then he lives. Oh,
I mean,
no.
Chrysalis doesn't, he has Omni Slash, but he doesn't have a TP. Puppy goes down to Noob on the other side, and Secret have lost a hell of a lot.
He's very confident on the pre-tip. He knows.
Man. Huge.
Yeah, he grabs one of the wisdom runes there at least, so there's something, but very well done there. What kills did they grab though? Wait, why did they get so much more of a gold bar? Was it someone's had a big streak, did they?
Must have been, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a 3x streak on Kaori. Okay, that explains it.
Yamit's just gonna die. There's a reason that you don't give this guy Phoenix, though. The damage output from him has been so insane this game. And he's almost got a Hex. Like, yeah. it's a problem.
It's like Kaori picked Phoenix, shock Pikachu face. Kaori bought Scythe, shock Pikachu face.
Jeez. Well, he's starting things off again, and they have found Armel. Oh my god, dude. And I mean, with all the buffs, this is hypothetically, you know, one of the ways that you can help deal with Meepo, or that Meepo has been able to deal with his AoE damage is Mega Meepo. But even still, it's just so much overwhelming damage. This is the real TA2000 here. Does have Aegis as well as Song. The rest of the team very far away. And yeah, TA2000 just going to TP out.
Yeah, just nothing you can do. Not stopping to sing song and run away there. Now an Aghanim's finished up for Malik, so we got ourselves the bomb on the reactive armor.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of crazy versus Meepo, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty
I
crazy.
definitely tested this, and I forget how it works. I think it works the way you would consider it to.
Okay.
Like, because it counts individual heroes.
Dire's top tower
Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
Dire's structures are
Each enemy hero within 600 radius of Timbersaw. Maximum of 800. So it's gonna be kind of insane. They find and kill Puppy. All it takes is a moment. And they're even gonna find his little creeps too. As Noob kills them all.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Man.
attack.
Yeah, because it treats clones, illusions, and creep heroes as heroes.
Dire's top
So
tower is
yeah,
under
so it does work. That is pretty gnarly. So you're like basically always guaranteed to have a good reactive armor because of
Dire's
that
middle
versus
tower
Meepo.
Right.
is under attack.
Yeah. Well, 24 minutes in, and Quest looking to keep up their streak of either ending these games quickly or putting the enemy team in a position where they can't fight. As they are forcing everybody back to base. Armel is going to try and take the Tormentor by himself. But it's coming at the cost of this tier 3 tower. A lot of damage. And then the lift immediately onto FBZ. The Force Staff pushing him out of position. Now Noob in a bit far. The Walrus punches there. My god, the damage. It's so insane coming out from Kaori. They actually cancel one of the TPs back. That was the Jugs. Chrysalis cancels his TP. He can't be here in the fight. Armel is gone. He has to walk across map.
Or farm first.
Yeah, apparently. They don't have tier 2 towers taken, but this is a full set of racks. They're calling to end the game.
Listen,
Kaori's
his
like,
teammates,
fine.
They just see a Juggernaut icon moving. They don't know that he's killing the camps along the way.
Oh my god. All right, they kill off the CM. I mean, Chrysalis is farming Ancients. They are hitting tier 4 towers.
Oh, I'm coming.
Somebody needs to deal with this at some point. Quest trying to end the game. Nobody reacting. Armel is still dead for 15. I mean,
Are fortified.
they gotta do something.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Chrysalis does not have Butterfly. The man has a quarterstaff and a dream. I don't know if they can actually do enough damage. They don't have enough. They need to kill the creeps.
Middle tower has fallen.
Trying to gank the side. Omar and Kaori, they're hiding in the dang fountain. So is actually Noob, who goes in a bit far. Kaori finds him. The Hex onto FBZ. The egg is down. Chrysalis tries to jump into it. And Chrysalis is maybe just going to die as the stun comes out. TA2000 right on top. He didn't get Omni Slash off. Dead for 50 seconds. Triple kill from Malik. Quest taking this game by storm. GG is called. What a beatdown.
Yeah, absolute destruction there. They did not lose any momentum as we had a bit of a delay before this next match here. Quest are looking like the best team here right now. And that's what they're coming here to say. And we'll show everybody that things are just fine with this squad here at Riyadh. And they now are undefeated here at 6-0. Start off their day.
I mean,
the tournament.
And they have so many tools that are really difficult to deal with. Harry did 19,000 damage in that game. The only hero that did more damage in the entire game was Malik on the Timbersaw. He took everybody else out and did more healing than them all too. This fight in particular was crazy.
Well, it's so important too for them right now because like they still have another series to play. Like winning these games like this, especially in this fashion, they just must be feeling on top of the world right now. And now they go to play Extreme Gaming. I just firmly believe they're going 8-0 today. I don't know what'll happen the rest of the tournament, but their team fighting has looked completely perfect. Like so many little close plays, so much clear communication happening. They're having fun. They're diving the fountain. Taunts are happening. They're tipping each other. They just look good.
And I think that, like, you know, obviously they had an Aegis in this fight that you're seeing right here, but like you said, that willingness to take a risk, to say, you know what, we're going to actually go out there and try and push high ground and push the limits of what our squad is capable of. It's incredibly refreshing compared to some of the other Dota that we've seen where teams are waiting for 40,000 net worth lead to push high ground. They're like, no, we're going to end the game. Thank you, Quest. It's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, mission complete on that one there. And meanwhile, Secret, of course, you know, they had some wins today. It's not like it's been like a horrendous day or anything here, but the Meepo not able to work here. Maybe not necessarily just on the Meepo. Obviously, you sort of had a failure to launch on Chrysalis as well there on that Juggernaut. Came into a place where it wasn't looking the best in the draft at that point anyway. I don't know if maybe they had a different consideration where they weren't really thinking Meepo when they picked it, considering the tempo at which Meepo's going to hit isn't necessarily going to give that much space, unless your first Atos kills go really well, which certainly could happen, but they did not find the heroes for that to occur, as well as because of the great job Noob did in the mid lane with the constant support rotations to really slow down Armel.
No, totally. And I kind of wonder about like those rotations early to try and, like, you know, just shut him down a couple of times if that's something that's been practiced a bunch of times. Because in remembering the order that the picks went, it was Meepo last overall, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't necessarily know that it was coming, but it felt like even though they already had like pre-planned that the Tusk was going to be the pick, they still came up with a way to like shut it down even when that other stuff wasn't happening.
Well, even just the matchup too, where he kept using the snowball to stop the poofs for the last hits. Like that's just perfect. Maybe he hasn't even played Tusk mid versus Meepo, but he just, you know, he's recognizing what Meepo's trying to do. He finds a solution very quickly. Maybe something that Armel wasn't necessarily thinking of either. And those little setups that he'd been doing just stopped working with the poofs. And you get slowed down. It's all about just like moving fast as Meepo. So every little bit is going to hurt you. Every little bump in the road.
Every bump in the road. Well, we're going to have a little bump in the road here as we get ready for our next series, but stick around. More action to come in just a bit. Riyadh Masters 2023 will be live in a few after the break.